Hey guys, Jordan here. In this video I'm going to be talking about shooting real estate photography on a monopod. Alright, so recently I've been trying to get more efficient out in the field, and I test different setups and settings and rigs, and recently I've been shooting with a monopod, and you know what? I've been able to cut down the shooting time on the interior significantly. Now there are pros and cons to using a monopod over a tripod, and for most real estate photographers I definitely still recommend shooting on a tripod. That's still what we do here at Lister Pros, but this is just something if you're strapped for time or you just want to be able to move through a property a little bit faster, it might be an option for you. Now the monopod I've been using recently is the Manfrotto X Pro Monopod Plus. What I really like about this model is that you can lock out the base, and it has 3 legs, so it can actually stand up by itself without you holding on to it. Now when going through a property with a tripod, you're likely having to bend your legs in and out as you walk through the property, and you're having to adjust your ball head manually for every single shot. Now with the monopod, you're able to easily compose your shot without having to adjust the ball head as long as it's straight. It also makes adjusting the height of your shot a lot easier because you're only having to adjust one leg. Now one thing you're going to have to pay attention to, especially when shooting on a monopod, is your shutter speed. You're going to have to adjust your aperture and your ISO settings so that your shutter speed doesn't go below 1/15. If you go lower than that, your shots are going to be blurry because there's going to be a little bit of movement in a monopod that you wouldn't have on a tripod. So the camera that I've been shooting with on the monopod is a Sony a7S III, and it does fantastic at higher ISO settings. Completely usable even up to and beyond 12,800. So I set the upper end of my auto ISO setting to 12,800, and I reduced my aperture to 6.3, and I feel like I'm getting pretty good results at that setting right now. Although my testing isn't finished, I'm still going to be testing lower aperture settings as well as lower and higher ISO settings. I'm always trying to find that balance of image quality and speed. So here you can see some of the photos that I took using my monopod yesterday at a few properties. As you can see, there really is no difference in the end product from me shooting on my monopod versus my tripod. Now if you're shooting in a super dark room, you might be able to tell the difference if your camera does not do very well at high ISO settings. So I will talk about the entire setup. So I use the Manfrotto X Pro Monopod Plus monopod. I'm using the Sony a7S III camera body with the 16-35 2.8 G Master Sony lens, and I'm also using the Sony Bluetooth remote. I can't say enough good things about the Sony Bluetooth remote. It really makes moving through a property much faster and easier. So the combination of having a camera that takes quick exposures, a monopod that you're not having to adjust and move as much as a tripod, and the Sony Bluetooth remote so you can do fast, consistent triggers, in my opinion, is one of the fastest and easiest ways to shoot real estate photography when you're in a time crunch. Now if you're shooting a super high-end property and you need to pay attention to every single detail, I definitely don't recommend using a monopod. Or even if you're doing a twilight shoot, you're better off shooting with a tripod. So for those shoots that have great lighting, a good monopod setup could be a great option for you if you want to move a little bit faster. Alright guys, so is a monopod a good replacement for a tripod? I would say no. You definitely still need a tripod for shooting real estate photography, but there are times where shooting on a monopod may make sense for you in your shoots. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in learning more about the real estate media business, you can check out our free 1-hour training. The link is in the description, and we'll see you guys on the next one.